Welcome back, folks. My first guest tonight is the Emmy and Peabody award-winning filmmaker behind When They See Us, 13th, Selma, and more. Please welcome Ava DuVernay. Hi, Ava.
Hello. Hi, Stephen.
Nice to see you again. Thanks for being here.
I'm glad to be here with you in your beautiful home.
Thank you very much. And you and your beautiful offices, I think?
Yes.
Oh, I love the color palette. All right. Now, you became friends with Congressman John Lewis while directing Selma. He meant a lot of people, to the world. What does his legacy mean to you?
Well, I don't even know if I'd say friends, because I was always kind of genuflecting and bowing and just, I couldn't quite get myself together. We spent a lot of time together doing the making of Selma, and he was instrumental in, my writing of that script and throughout production and post. And we presented it to the world together. And so we were able to spend a lot of time, and I was able to ask him questions about life, about the way that I should approach my work and think about it, and history. And so I think my thought about his legacy is more about personal advice he gave me. And one of the things that he said to me that really has stuck with me in the last few days since his transition was, I said, what do I do? I don't know what I was talking about. Congressman, what do I do? He said, Ava, do everything. I was like, do everything? What does that mean? He was like Yoda. Do everything. And then he left. So I'm like, do everything. What does that mean? And so I've really been pondering that question of do everything. And, the answer to that is what I'm striving to figure out. But that's one of the gifts that he left for me. And so on some days, do everything means one thing. On another day, it means something else. But it's kept me going. And I'm going to miss him.
Now, your doc 13th was released in 2016, but in the last few weeks, it's been one of Netflix's most watched programs.
Yeah.
And I understand for the rest of the month, you can stream it for free on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It's true. I think they're doing it for the rest of the summer, for folks to find out. I think, after a lot of the, racial reckoning that was instigated by the vicious murder of George Floyd, that folks were searching for, some grounding, some context. And, I'm fortunate and glad that 13th was available for people. So,
the film deals a lot with the idea that, law and order becomes a rallying cry for certain politicians. And Trump is using that to define his presidency right now. He already used it, but he's really leaning very hard on it in his attempt to get reelected. What should people know about the historical context of that phrase as a political tool and an idea of control?
Yeah, it's a page from a very old playbook. That's why the fact that folks are falling for it just feels so pedestrian. And I hear it right now, and it's so defanged for me. And I hope that is what 13th does. It kind of takes the fangs out of that language. Really, it speaks to the criminalization of Black people. The idea that, and the growth and the maturation of the idea that Black people are inherently criminals, who need to be controlled through mechanisms of social control that are most prominent in the criminal justice system, prison and incarceration systems. And so, there's just a lot to know there. Once you know it, then you hear those words differently, and you know that they're a dog whistle for a certain brand of thinking that is steeped in an absence of justice. And so, like I said, we drill down into that in 13th. We go through the history, and we do a sequence where we're really just showing that Trump is really mirroring these old ideas in ways that are pretty basic, yet desperately violent, and so emotionally violent. And so folks just have to educate themselves. It's not going away. This is the thing. It's not going to stop. He's not going to stop. He's going to lean into it, because there's certain people who hear it and are activated by it. And so we have to be the ones who hear it and are able to neutralize it within ourselves. And so it's just important that people pick up books, then read. But if you don't want to do that, I took all the books and I put it in one primer. It's an old movie called 13th that's playing for free on YouTube. Check it out.
But you've started a new initiative called the Law Enforcement Accountability Project. What is that?
Yeah, it's called LEAP. Yep, Law Enforcement Accountability Project, leapaction.org. And it was my rage at the George Floyd tapes. Like I said, I'm used to watching a lot of this footage. But something about the George Floyd murder really knocked me to my knees. And I had to ask myself, what was different about this? And for me, it was bearing witness to that officer looking right into the camera as he murdered him, as the man begged for his life, as people around him begged for his life. And I realized, oh, I'm not used to seeing the officer straight to the camera. That's why this is affecting me. Usually it'll be obscured by some grainy surveillance footage or on a body cam where the officer is behind the camera. And so there's something about the direct framing of him that led me to think, wow, I never see these officers who kill unarmed Black people. And wow, where are they and what are their names? And so LEAP is basically saying, we don't believe that police unions are holding bad cops accountable. We don't see courts holding these cops accountable. We, the people as taxpayers, can do it. And as artists, we're doing it by making sure that they cannot disappear, that we see them, that we know their names, that we know where they are, and that we understand that we're not allowing them to kind of recede behind this blue wall of silence. So basically it's a fund that funds work by artists of different disciplines about raising awareness about officers who have committed crimes against Black people. So often we say the names of the victims and their names should be known, but we can't allow these officers to slip away and disappear. And so that's what LEAP is about.
Well, I mean, since this is your intention of this organization now, how do you react to the president sending in federal shock troops, shall we call them, with no identification, hauling people without probable cause into unmarked vans to take them who knows where?
It's jaw-dropping. The thing that's been challenging for me is kind of the lack of press coverage as this as the #1 story. I mean, I know we're in the middle of a pandemic and there's a lot happening, but it has just felt to me like there has not been the kind of outrage and response, and the outrage is going to come from the coverage of it. And so I turn on every single network. I'm looking at everything, and this is not the first story or the second story or the third story, that American citizens are being taken in unmarked vans by, people who knows who they are, dressed in military attire with military grade weapons. I mean, we've seen the video. I've seen it on social much more than I'm seeing it in the press. Why do you think that is? Why is this not getting covered in that way?
I don't know. Because I haven't seen it much either after the initial times. I assume it's still going on because those troops are still in Portland.
Absolutely, and expanding into other states. So I just have to say, and I'm so happy that you're asking about it and that we're talking about it. There's something happening in Portland that Trump has said will be duplicated in other states and other cities. Folks have already been dispatched in these cities, federal officers, and this is serious. This is at the very core of what we all say. I mean, this is not even a Republican Democrat issue. This is what our country has supposedly gone into other countries to fight against.
Well, in the Federalist Papers, it says, to paraphrase, if someone can pop a bag over your head and take you away without cause, you have no other rights.
Amen. Well, that's where we are. And like it should be more top of mind for us. I'm so glad you asked about it and that you're talking about it.
Well, I'm so glad you were here. Thanks so much for being here, Ava.
What a happy, cheerful segment we've had.
Well, we matched the times. We matched the times.
See.
Her documentary, 13th, is available for free on YouTube, and you can learn more about the Law Enforcement Accountability Project at leapaction.org. Ava DuVernay, everybody. Thanks so much, Ava.
Stephen.
We'll be right back with actress Kristen Bell.